Good evening, friends. How are you this evening? And we are live again, like every day. This is a program to basically help each one of us to improve our critical thinking. And one of the method is basically if you can think quickly, answer quickly, it will actually evolve your brain power and prepare you for your examinations and also your competitive interviews. So let us begin our journey and let us dive deep into this quiz. Before we start, let me give you the rules of the game. Rules are very simple. The question will get displayed and then you will be given 60 seconds to respond to that question. And you can use the chat function of the social media to send in your answers. In any case, 30 seconds should be sufficient for you to think about the right answer. But then we have given another 30 seconds for you to type in and send it across to us so that we can announce who is the right answer, what is the right answer, who is the right person who has been able to give the right answer. All right, so let's begin our quiz and let's dive into our quiz straight away. So the first question is in 1604, what is the name of the William Shakespeare's first tragedy play? And the time starts now. Friends, we know that the Shakespeare has written many plays, and the question was about the first tragedy play which he has written, and you know that it is a very popular one. So let us go to the answer first. The answer is Othello. Of course, Othello is a is a play which involves a lot of violence and also revenge, and there is a love angle, and there is also the overtones of the underworld. Now, this story has been adapted by Hollywood, by Bollywood, by many others, and they have actually tried to change this basic story into multiple different kinds of variations. And because of this, Othello has become very popular. Even today, we find this story very resonating with our life. So let me see if any right answers we have got. All right, so no answers. So let me proceed to the next question. In the year 1665, who invented the method known as micrography, which is drawing, making a drawing using microscope and also coining the word cell. And that is why we call, we are made of cellular life. And the time starts now. So the art of micrographia, basically looking into the microscope and drawing whatever they see in the microscope, and therefore now we have used this method to basically draw out the internals of cell and other life forms. Let's find the answer. It is the Robert Hooke, and Robert Hooke actually created this art of micrographia, and because of that, we can actually see what is found inside microscopic life forms and also other smaller things. Now today, the micrographia is used to draw the structures of molecules, because obviously there is a method to look into that, into such small objects. All right, let's move to the next question. In the year 1800, who became the first president to live in the White House? Time starts now. So, it would have been such an honor to become the first resident inside this majestic building, which is the official residence for the United States of America, President of United States of America. So let's find out the answer. It is President John Adams. He was the first occupant of the White House, and he moved in the White House in 1800 on November 1st. Remember this, friends. It's an important date, and it is today also. Now let's move to the next question quickly. 1834 poker game was of cards was named as poker game, but what was its real name? Before it was called poker, what was the name this game was known as? And the time starts now. So, isn't it interesting to know what is the real name of poker? Let's find out. It was known as the Mississippi River board game. So apparently, poker game of poker was very popular when the merchants or the travelers used to basically take a boat ride in Mississippi River, and therefore it was known as the Mississippi River boat game. And very interesting trivia, friends. Now let's quickly move to the next question. In the year 1848, W. H. Smith opened its first railway bookstall at which location? And W. H. Smith is a major publication house today, but it started way back in 1848. What was their first location? And the time starts now. Today, W.H. Smith is very well known. It's a global multi-billion dollar business, and they deal only with books. Where it all started? Let's find out. It is at a location, a station in London called Austin Station in London. It's a railway station where, they opened their first book stall, and then from there they grew to a worldwide glory. Now let's move to the next question quickly. In the year 1886, what is the name of the leading Buddhist school in Sri Lanka, which was established in 1886 with 37 students? A leading Buddhist school in Sri Lanka established with 37 students in the year 1886. Time starts now. So this school today is a very big establishment, and it is one of the popular school dedicated, in understanding and teaching Buddha's, preachings. So let's find the answer to this question. It is the Ananda College, and Ananda College is one of the prominent college globally acclaimed, started in Sri Lanka to propagate Buddhism. Now let's move on to the next question quickly. In the year 1894, Nicholas II became the new Tsar of Russia after the death of his father. Who was his father? The time starts now. Well, Nicholas II was the last Tsar as we know it, because in his reign, later on, there was the Soviet Revolution, and which ended in a very bad situation for him and his family. However, his father would have been a Tsar, because, king father is always a king. So let's find out. It is Tsar Alexander the Third was the father of Nicholas the Second. That's the right answer. And as you know, Nicholas and his entire family was massacred by the Soviet revolutionary. And later, upon his death, the state of Russia was dissolved and the USSR was born. Let's go to the next question. In the year 1894, who invented vaccine for diphtheria? And the time starts now. Back in the days, the diphtheria was a major killer, especially these simple diseases that we take for granted. That even if we are infected today, all we have to do is just pop a couple of tablets. But then we must give credit to the people who actually struggle so hard to bring us these amenities. In fact, I call the tablets as amenities because you just pop one and then your disease goes away. But back in the days, this was not the situation. Now let's find out the answer. It is Dr. Emily Rox of Paris. Dr. Emily Rox invented the vaccination for diphtheria, and vaccination is basically antiviral, medicine. And she also found out that this is a viral infection. Now let's go to the next question quickly. In the 1911, in which war the first area bomb was dropped? 1911, first use of air power, and the time starts now. So we know that in any war today, there has to be air supremacy. But humans did not realize that they can use the air force to maintain the air supremacy. They can monitor everything from the air and look all the troop movement, etc. But way back, they realized it, even though there were no aeroplanes. So, prior to doing bombing, they were doing Reiki using balloons. However, somebody got the bright idea and they started using air force as, bombing, as a bombing weapon. So let's find out. The bombs were dropped by an Italian pilot on Turkish troops in Libya during a Italo-Turkish war. This is the first instance of airships used as a platform where they can actually drop bombs on the troops on the ground. And from there, we have kept advancing, and we have now, back in the days, there were airships, but now there are, proper aeroplanes for bombing. There are aeroplanes for ground penetration. There are specialized planes for fighters, air-to-air combat, also deep strike fighters. So all kinds of fighters have been custom built for all kinds of air warfare. Now let's move on to the next question. In the year 1922, who was the last king of the Ottoman Empire? To answer this question, you should know what is Ottoman Empire, and the time starts now. Well, before I give you the answer, I have to explain for those people who do not know what is Ottoman Empire. Ottoman are basically one of the long-lasting lineage of the Islamic rulers who actually invaded the Roman Empire, which was known as Constantinople in current-day Turkey, and they actually converted the entire Roman people into Islam, and thus forming the country of Turkey as we know it today. And Ottoman Empire had a lot of great influence on Indian Mughal rulers also, because some of the advices the Mughals were taking were from the Turkey region. And eventually the Ottoman Empire fell, you know, not so long ago in 1922, where from autocratic state they became a democratic country, and in the year 1922. Now let's find out the answer. Who removed the Ottoman Empire from its seat? And the name is Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. He actually takes the control of Constantinople from Muhammad VI, and proclaiming the Republic of Turkey, or Turkey as we know it today, and bringing an end to the Ottoman Empire. So this was a sort of an independence movement, but within their own people, where people stood against the monarchy. They didn't want to basically live in under a king, especially in Europe, where all the neighboring countries were already democratic. So people of Turkey also decided to rise against the king, and got rid of their 600-year-old empire, which was ruling that piece of land, which is known as Turkey today. All right, let's go to the next question. In the year 1928, which airship sets the airship distance record of 6,384 kilometers? That was a long flight for an airship. Time starts now. Well, when the flight was started by airship, actually that replaced the ship confined and confined living in a ship to a much more luxurious stay on an airship. And you can also take a walk, unlike today's aeroplane, because airship used to be huge and there were used to be a lot of gallery and stuff like that. It was almost like flying boat with very high net worth passengers who could pay through their noses to take a flight into the airship. And then airship also provided much more comfortable ride. There were no waves, or there was no rain. There were no tempest hitting the boat or rocking the boat. All kinds of amenities were provided. At the same time, the time taken by airship was much lesser than a normal ship. So airship became a mode of transport for rich and famous. However, let's straight away go to this answer to this question. It is the legendary airship known as Graf Zeppelin. Graf Zeppelin has been one of the biggest airship ever produced, and then it ended its life in a tragic incident where all the hydrogen on board caught fire in New Jersey while it is making a landing run in the airfield of New Jersey. However, this airship is remarkable. It was huge. It has a lot of amenities, very comfortable living, and also the staff, the crew of the airship was the Victorian style crew with butlers and chefs and very different kind of Victorian way of serving the passengers while they are actually taking a ride into the airship. So Graf Zeppelin is definitely a very well-known airship. Let's continue our journey of improving our critical thinking. Let's go to the next question. In the year 1932, who was named head of German liquid fuel rocket program? And the time starts now. This is an easy question. We all know who was the father of the rocket itself, the liquid fuel rocket. But let us find the answer to this question. It is the Warner von Braun. Later, Warner von Braun immigrated to America after the war, became part of the NASA, and also played a key role in developing Saturn V rocket, which actually took man to the moon. So, this was an easy question. The answer was very obvious. Let's move to the next one. In the year 1939, what was the name of the world's first jet plane, which was launched way back in 1939? And the time starts now. Well, this is surprising because the jet planes were available even before the start of the war. But when we look at the Second World War, we only see the propeller-powered piston engine, fighter planes, which actually took part in the battle everywhere, whether it is Japan or Europe, England, everywhere, even in Africa. We have never seen the jet plane participating in the war until it was 1944. So essentially, the last year of the war, there were few jet planes which were used in the battle. But let's find out which was the first plane which was introduced as a jet plane and where it was. The name of the plane is Heinkel HE 178. It was demonstrated by the German Air Ministry. So the Germans were definitely ahead in the technological curve. They were doing lot many things for the first time, and they were able to demonstrate the world first jet powered aeroplane. Let's move to the next question. In the year 1951, What is the name of the first hydrogen bomb that was detonated in the Marshall Islands in the North Pacific Ocean? The name of the first hydrogen bomb. And time starts now. Well, we know the names of the atom bombs which were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but this question is related to the hydrogen bomb. What was the name of the first hydrogen bomb? Let's go to the answer. The name of the bomb is Ivy Mike. That was the name. Very funny name, but hydrogen bomb is very destructive. It produces lot of heat, lot of energy, and the only good thing in hydrogen bomb is that it does not leave the harmful radiation, unlike the other atomic bomb. Uh, but it creates a lot of destruction. Now let's move to the next question. In the year 1956, which city became the Union Territory of India? Very simple. Time starts now. Well, 1956, India was a new nation, and we were also making strides in basically consolidating our land, our governance, rules, and regulation. And therefore, in 1956, which city became the Union Territory of India? The answer is very obvious, but let me take you to the answer sheet. It is Delhi. Delhi is the capital region of India. It's the capital city of India, and therefore it was known as the Union Territory of India. And today we don't call it Union Territory, we call it NCR, which is National Capital Region. All right, let's move to the next question. In the year 1973, a state was born, and that was Karnataka. But what was the original name of Karnataka? You should be able to give this answer, especially if you're watching from Bangalore or Mysore or Mangalore. You should know the answer to this question. The time starts now. Well, in India, the states are divided, or the boundaries of different states are divided based on the language in the area people speak. So it is well understood that if it is a state of Karnataka, most of the people in that state would be speaking local language known as Kannada. But the question was, what was the original name of this state? Let's find out. It was the Indian state of Mysore, which is now known as Mysuru is a city within Karnataka, but the entire state was known as Mysore, Indian state of Mysore. All right, let's move to the next question. In the year 1997, a very popular movie was released, Titanic. Who directed it? Very simple question. Your time starts. Well, for this question, we don't have to even wait. I think we should know the answer to this question. Everybody should know. If you do not know, then obviously I don't know what to say. But the answer is very simple. It is James Cameron. James Cameron directed this movie. In fact, a fantastic movie, a good story. In fact, he himself wrote the story. Uh, James Cameron is the answer to this question. Now let's move to the next one. In the year 2012, which email service was classified as the world most popular email service? And the time starts. Again, this is a simple question. This is the email that we all use. In fact, it's very simple to create this email. This has been classified as the world most popular email service. Let's go to the answer. It is the Gmail. Gmail is preferred by many people. It's very easy, especially if you are using an Android phone. It is completely integrated with the Android phone. So on the phone also you use Gmail, as well as on desktop or your different kinds of platforms. So it is very widely used email service. Let's see if we have more questions left for today. Well, we have ended our daily quiz, uh, improving our critical thinking and preparing ourselves for the competitive exams and also interviews is a journey. So let us join again tomorrow at 5 p.m. and continue our journey of Mind Gym. See you tomorrow, friends. Bye bye.